Just listen to what this interviewer said to Jude Bellingham.
Great. I mean, you're a mature 28. Oh, you're not 28.
20. Only 20, mate. I just added 8 years to it.
Just saying that you look like a mature player. You're only 20. How'd you manage to just...
Now I understand that the interviewer might know that he's just 20 years old, and even if he doesn't know, it's not a big deal. But the way he responded when Bellingham told him that I'm just 20, it really felt that he was shocked to know that he's that young. In fact, Carlo Ancelotti was asked after their game against Napoli that are you sure that Bellingham is just 20 years old? He jokingly responded that I'm not sure, I'll have to check his passport. Now this is all fun and games, and I understand that there have been players who are younger than Bellingham and have performed well on that young age. But why I bring all this is because there is something different about this player, and that is his mental strength. The maturity that Bellingham has shown on the field and the way he has carried himself off it is exceptional. The pressure that comes with being a Real Madrid player is immense, and even many superstars have not even been able to handle that. And with Bellingham, it feels like he is embracing it. If you see his social media, it seems like he's having a good time. He's being friends with everyone at Real Madrid. The coaches love him, the senior and the young players have good things to say about him. Madrid captain Nacho recently said that it feels like Bellingham was meant to play for Real Madrid. He's lifting the team, not only by his performances but his attitude as well. He's playing as an attacking midfielder, helping in the ball progression. He is defending, he's fighting for every ball. He's completing Real Madrid's comeback, scoring goals at the stoppage time. No doubt he's performing well. But he's also setting an example in terms of the character he's showing on and off the field. Let me quickly remind you of a couple of incidents to get an idea about his character. This was from the second game. What happened was Vinicius actually fell down because of a push and he was about to argue with the referee. And I'm not saying it's wrong or anything because Vinicius is fouled a lot and he has to protect himself. But Bellingham picked him up, asked him to focus on the game, which Vinicius did, and eventually scored the goal, assisted by Bellingham himself. And this one's from their match against Celta Vigo. Kepa Arrizabalaga played his first game as a goalkeeper for Real Madrid, and although Madrid won that match, but let's say it was not Kepa's best performance. And in this image, you're seeing Bellingham asking fans at an away stadium to applaud for Kepa, who played his first game for Real Madrid. All of this behavior is not normal for a 20-year-old. He's not afraid of the new league, he's not faced by the opponents or the away fans. The whole stadium celebrates with him when he scores or gives an assist. In fact, Carlo Ancelotti has shown so much trust in him that he first of all changed the whole system to Jude Bellingham's game from 4-3-3 to 4-4-2, and secondly he backs the player up every time he gets a chance. He says that Bellingham is that good, and he himself is surprised because of his performance, especially in terms of goal scoring. And talking about goal scoring, I think you will agree with me that scoring goals consistently is the most difficult part in football. And Madrid for years had a more than decent goal scorer in Benzema, who left them rather surprisingly this summer. But Madrid did not replace him properly. And I'd say it is because of Bellingham that Real Madrid sits at the top of La Liga table and Champions League group. And it's really hard to comprehend how important Benzema's role was for Real Madrid. You see, when Cristiano left in 2018, that year was really tough because they could not find a proper replacement for the goals Cristiano scored. And it took them some time, but Madrid slowly started evolving for a life without Cristiano. And they eventually started winning La Liga, the Champions League and the Copa del Rey and got settled in a way. But Benzema has been important when Cristiano was there and became even more important after he was gone. Understand this, he not only scored the important goals and was a reference point in the attack, but his most important and underrated quality was how he would drop deep to get the ball, facilitate the attack and eventually score or assist. And Bellingham right now is doing something similar. Hear me out. He's a midfielder who's playing like a second striker. So naturally, he starts from behind. And just like Benzema, the ball goes ahead through him. And at this young age, he's doing that with confidence. And most importantly, the players trust Jude and they try to find him. Now Benzema obviously was an excellent finisher. And I won't even compare Bellingham's finishing with that of Benzema's. But I will say this. As of now, Bellingham has overachieved the expectations people had, especially in terms of his goal scoring. He has scored 10 goals and provided 3 assists in his first 10 Real Madrid games. And that's more goal contributions than Cristiano in his first 10 games. And to be honest, this kind of form is not sustainable. And we should also not forget that he's a midfielder. And we are comparing him with elite strikers right now. So to expect that Bellingham will do this throughout his career is not realistic. But there's this aspect of his involvement in defending. And that is a dynamic that Jude provides, which is massive for Madrid right now. And the way he gets back, tackles and defends, man, he looks so good. And this aspect of his game gives the team an added benefit, which any other attacking player cannot provide. Maybe apart from Valverde, but he's not a proper attacker. And while we are comparing him with Benzema, which we should not, because both players actually play in different positions, but still if we compare them, Bellingham will score some added points because of his defensive qualities. And of course, Benzema used to drop deep, help in the defense, but the quality that Bellingham has, he can play as a defensive midfielder, and he has done that in his Dortmund days. Now I wanted to highlight a few more points before I end this video, which for me is a big deal. Firstly, just imagine a coach with the amount of experience that Ancelotti has decides to change the style of Madrid's game to that of Bellingham. It's not a small thing. First of all, he's just 20. He does not speak the language. He just came from Bundesliga to arguably the biggest club in the world, playing in a position which he is not used to. And giving him this responsibility of being the main man, a coach have to have a lot of trust in a player to do this. Secondly, we have to understand that Bellingham was expected to do big things in football. He never had the hype that Mbappe had or Haaland had, but do you know that he became the most expensive 17-year-old in history of football when he was sold to Dortmund for £25 million, and his boyhood club Birmingham City retired his shirt number, which was 22, and people laughed at them, but now we understand why they did that. And now at 20, he's not only seen as a key man for Real Madrid but also for England national team, and journalists, pundits and former players all around are praising him, saying that he's the best player in the world right now. Rio Ferdinand said that he can potentially win Ballon d'Or 3 times, and people are also comparing him with players like Zidane, Kaká and Di Stefano. But for me, he has different qualities, and we can obviously compare some aspects of his game with different players, but I think he will create his own legacy, and what we are witnessing here is making of a legend. And that will be the end of the video. I want to know your thoughts on Jude Bellingham. Do you think he'll be able to sustain the form he's showing right now? And which players according to you has shown the qualities, the mental strength that Bellingham has at 20? Like the video, share with your friends, and follow Football Ledger for regular football content.